So what you're seeing here is the final stage of our project for Romeo and Juliet. And I just felt it'd be very good to start to focus on some of the words from the play as our final piece of embroidery. And as they relate to the things that we've been discovering about Newham and exploring through the costumes of Romeo and Juliet. So you're just looking at the first design here, which is a very anguished one that it's Lady Capulet at the end of the play when she finds Juliet dead, and she says this: oh me, my child, my only life, revive, look up, or I will die with thee. Help, help, call help. And so I've designed that as a kind of a panicky sort of untidy mess, because obviously when you're in a panic situation, you know, your words are sort of faltering and that kind of thing. So it's meant to portray the panic and the despair and the sadness of Lady Capulet as she finds out about Juliet. And obviously this is the experience of women, mothers, sisters, grandmothers in Newham as they find out that their young person has been killed in a gang fight or seriously injured. So I felt that this really related so much to the terrible feelings that some mothers and some of us in the group have actually experienced over the years. So this is, everybody will be interpreting this in their own way. I happen to have used some quite dense embroidery, and it's a good way of practicing new embroidery stitches and teaching new stitch techniques to people in the project. But people will be painting and hopefully expressing this in their own way as a piece of embroidery. And then we move on to the next sample that I've created, and this is one which is inspired by Romeo's words, and he says this: is love a tender thing? It is too rough, too rude, too boisterous, and it pricks like a thorn. So that's expressing the, you know, the difficulties of love and the pain of love. And it's again an opportunity to practice stitches like raised stem stitch to create the wording. Obviously this is quite hard to do, the lettering, and keep it looking clear, so it's very good practice for our group to do their raised stem stitch. And then also the flowers are felt, which has been overlaid with satin stitch to make them raised up. So this is another technique that's rather nice to practice and have a look at in the groups. We like to teach new things all the time and introduce people to new stitches. And the border is called a Hungarian chain stitch, which is a very complicated one to do and drives people mad, but great fun once you've acquired the skill, and it always looks very nice as a border stitch. And on the rest of the quotes here that are going to be worked on, these are the initial designs, and nobody's had a go at these yet. Again, talking about love, the theme of love, Romeo says, I love thee with a love that shall not die. And so it's written in English in sort of an 18th century script there. And then it's also, the word love has been designed in different languages. And again, these relate to our groups because we have Arabic in there, Malayalam, we've got Italian, German, South African, we've got all kinds of languages that people in Newham use. It's a very diverse borough, so it was rather nice to again reflect that in that particular design. And then going on to the next one, again this is talking about the revenge and rivalry and the gang warfare. And so this is Romeo's friend saying, do bite your thumb at us, sir, right at the beginning of the play when they're itching to start a fight. And so the word hate comes in here, and it's again portrayed in lots of different languages, including Russian, Greek, we've got some Arabic there again, and some Chinese. There's a large Chinese community in Newham. So again, it's all languages that people around Newham will be speaking. And then the final little bit of embroidery, it's just a bit of fun really. It's amazing how much revenge and vengeance kind of generate and regenerate violence around. People don't seem to be able to put down any of their rivalries, and if something happens to a gang member, they have to immediately gain revenge. So this is another quote from Romeo, I think it is. Fire-eyed fury, be my conduct now, as soon as one of his friends has been killed. And so that's very much expresses how young people feel. And with this one, I'm very eager for people to create their own bits of embroidery and maybe painting to express this and to make it their own.